is like the last time I'm gonna come here and this is gonna be desecrated. Like, this is crazy. And this ain't nobody but you know who. That's awful. Me and my daughter come here to this gravesite. Whatever way you want to feel about whatever, touching it, doing anything to it, it's just weird. It's okay. We're going to clean it off and give our
That's a beautiful tombstone, though. I ain't gonna lie.
respect. I haven't talked about the just flat out disrespectful things that the Thorpe family have done to me in the last 5 years, but this takes the cake. This upset my baby, his child, Kevin's child, that y'all so frequently want to forget. Everybody grieve differently and they've done their thing. I have been respectful, quiet, and most importantly, I've stayed in my damn lane. But this is it. Y'all are vile, disgusting, and call yourself God-fearing people. Put a stop to it now. Because little ones, like his children, are being affected. Fuck how y'all feel. I've been respectful. I've been respectful on the strength of him. I haven't talked about half of the nasty ass stuff y'all have said to me and done to me. But this is it. It's awful. Awful. And y'all going to a special place in hell for you too. Hey y'all, hey. Tiff here with, I guess, the much anticipated story time of the Thorpes. As you know, my name is Tiffany Thorpe Kelly. And I just definitely posted a whole situation about going to see my late husband's gravestone on his 5th anniversary. 5th anniversary of his death. Kevin Thorpe passed away on February 29th, 2020. After almost 5 years of us being married, 6 years together, he passed away in his sleep. I tragically found him. He was asleep next to his 3-year-old daughter, who was KT. All of our children blended were at the house that evening. And yeah, it's a pretty fucked up situation. There's so many different things I could talk about throughout the duration of this. But of course, you know, it was a tragedy to us, my household, my family. But of course, the Thorpe family, his mom, his sister, his aunts, his cousins. He has a very large family who are very close. Throughout our whole entire marriage, we attended all family events together. You know, we've only excluded the black love situation. We've never had any situations that would say anything other. And anybody that was around that was a part of our life during that time, and anybody that saw it kind of on social media kind of felt that vibe. Now, it was always some things, but mom and sister, yeah, definitely wasn't always with the shit. Now, mom definitely played her part because she figured out very early on how much her son loved me, cared about me, respected me, and just how good I was for him too, and the kids. We are never going to play on the fact that our union was an amazing situation for him and us. It changed my life. I changed his life. And I was very different than the woman that he took serious before me. No shade, but we definitely were going through custody battles with his youngest son, who I had an amazing relationship with, who I have not seen since all this drama happens, and it's really unfortunate. But just to put some shade out there for her, the custody battle prevented him from seeing that child for a majority of the last year of his life. So whatever shade that she throws out there, has been thrown out there, you are an individual that is nasty and disgusting because you did that. And why? Because I questioned something. I don't know. Now, insert sister. Throughout our marriage, sister was around, but then things got weird about a year or two in. Sister has a special need child, autistic child. Actually was child said toddler teacher and helped sister identify that special need way back when, before I was even with her brother. But that's another story for another day, because I definitely have history with this family before I got married to Kevin. Anywho, child came over. I tried to involve his family in all of the great things and experiences that I provided my family, or had with my family. Thank you, Kev. Because y'all know how I do. We do the things. We do the farms. We do the trips. We do the things. Now, extended the olive branch, scratch my back, I scratch yours, and having a child that with special needs and finding childcare and babysitters with family. Let's do that. Child came over. A weird situation happened where she accused us of being weird to him, which was never the case, and ran with that narrative. And his brother was highly offended, highly felt disrespected, because why would that even be a thing? And proceeded to have a little bit of drama with her for the remainder of the time that he was alive. Now that in turn turned into more drama around the time my child was about, I want to say 9 months or so. It's this whole ordeal with my wedding dress, who became the prom dress of one of their cousins. Disrespectfully, her mom gave my dress, altered my dress to the niece without, notifying me, whatever. Wound up paying me a little portion of it, but the dress was still very significant because it was my wedding dress to her son. But again, anything left at that house was her property, and that's how she still has the dress and my broom, to be exact, to this day. And as much as they can't stand me, refuses to give it back. Weird. But anyway, the drama continued because during this whole ordeal, I called out the mom and the slick shit they was trying to do with the dress and the girl leaving from the prom and all that. They had my child. She had my child at the time. We go to pick up the child, which now mom has given to sister, which we don't really fuck with. And in the turn of that, while I am getting the child in the car seat, KT, turn around, go to the car, she proceeds to try to attack me. Kev sees it and stops her. Furthers the drama because what the fuck, you weirdo? Why would you try to attack me with the baby in my hand? I'm just because I probably called her mom a bitch or called her a she or did some weird shit, disrespected her mom, which I will continuously do because that lady is fucking weird, and it is what it is. Now after that whole deal, okay, they stopped speaking. KT had to be maybe not one yet, maybe one. Okay, let's remember that. That is how long this man did not speak or talk to his sister because of the bullshit, vile, disgusting, territorial, entitled attitude that she had. And his mom checked him frequently. Anybody that knows and that was around will confirm and validate the fact that he stopped talking to his mom and his sister multiple times from them being disrespectful to me. It's a fact. It is what it is. So stop not speaking to sister. Okay, let's fast forward to Kevin passing away. Kevin passes away. Kevin leaves a life insurance policy. Kevin leaves that life insurance policy to his wife. That'd be me. As much as Kevin was a mama's boy and loved his mother and his family, and as much as people assumed me and my husband had a very great relationship and we talked about a lot of different things, and he made a decision to do what he did for a reason. I will never get into that reason or his decision or why he did that, but that money was left to me. Not getting into detail about money because that's weird, and these people been clocking my pussy and my money for way too long, and that's where the drama comes in. Now, I get this money, I write checks to satisfy his debt. As his wife, I take care of his debt, I do whatever I'm supposed to do, I write his mom a check, boom, 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 boom. Fast forward to the remnants of that. There was money left over. It never was given back to me, but it's okay. To keep that. I said something about it. It went whole left. Like, okay. The family then proceeds to clock my tea. I'm buying stuff, going on trip, doing whatever. They talked about it, tried to clock it, did the most. Like, we wasn't doing the same things that I've been doing my whole entire life before, after, and during this process. Again, anybody that knows me know I've been well-rounded, traveling and doing the most my whole entire life. Ask about me and check their resume. But again, I digress. I have nothing to prove to them or anybody else. So this is why most of the time I've been quiet this last 5 years, because regardless of their challenges, conflicts, concerns, what happened between him and I, the marriage that we had, the child rearing that happened, the parenting, all of that, those things, those relationships we built actually happened. And there were actual people that were around for that. And a lot of his family was not in that mix. Kevin spoke a lot about him always being a black sheep, and it is what it is. So we get to after he passes. Whole money situation, of course, goes left because, again, they're clocking my pussy and my money. Yeah. trusted them. I let, especially his mother, into the fold, and then found out she was doing shady shit. And as soon as I found out she was doing shady shit and, playing the field a little bit, I just dipped out and I started to do things, make decisions, and act accordingly. Now, the funeral, I paid for from the money, of course, she lied about her paying for the funeral. I've had people approach me, talked about this beautiful funeral that his mother gave. No, you paid $3,000 for the repast at the church, and we had a cousin cook the food. We definitely got a couple pictures, and I did the same. And then y'all weird asses tried to steal all the shit at the end of the damn repast, which is another weird ass move. But okay, let you be great. You're grieving, mother. Do you? Now this is where shit gets a little interesting. Now, when he passed away, it was COVID. A couple months after he passed, I want to say 2 or 3 months, there was conversation about the gravestone came up, which I had every intention and did to put up the gravestone. And I got text messages, DMs on my page, his page, all the things that I wasn't a piece of shit and how their cousin was sitting in a piece of dirt like he wasn't loved and blah, 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 because I had not purchased the headstone yet. Me, being a tourist that I am, halted any further to doing a gravestone because at this time it's during COVID, and I know it's gonna take a while anyway. But because you said something, bitch, and now I'm gonna take my sweet ass time to do it. Wrong on my part. I'm gonna admit I'm wrong because I didn't think about all of the other people in his life.
Yeah, that's wrong. I'm glad she said that. I was about to say, now that's wrong, but okay.
That wanted to visit the headstone. I didn't take into account that being petty, trying to stoop to their level, and I was wrong about that. I was absolutely wrong about that. But in all this conversation and all this is the only thing that they could ever bring up. It's the only thing they could talk about that I didn't do, or, I felt like it was an opportunity for them to bring up something because now I'm not really fucking with y'all. I'm not really talking to y'all. I'm not really explaining my moves or talking about my moves. And, now I'm making decisions and I'm doing stuff. Now, I'm going to be grown and admit where I'm wrong. But again, we fast forward. We order the gravestone. Again, I was wrong again because in the gravestone, you can see the gravestone. I did put a picture of me and Kev, and I did put loving husband and father. And I think that is probably where some of the tension and hate they probably had for me. I did not include loving son. Did not include loving brother. I didn't. And I'm not gonna say I was wrong about it, but at the time I made a decision and I did what I did.
That was wrong, though. That was wrong.
But the only way I can justify that is that I did purchase that plot, the gravestone, and paid for it. I'll get into a little bit more about paying for it. It's a double plot. It was all intentions of it being a double plot of me and him being buried there together. So again, there is space underneath that to further verify. The gravestone is I purchased. His mother, I think the gravestone's about $7,000 and I paid about $4,000 towards it. They contacted me at one point, asked was it purchased or, what was going on with the gravestone. I informed them that it had been purchased. Y'all can't do nothing about the design because it's already done. But if you want to go ahead and pay for the rest of it, go ahead. I feel validated. And I feel like I fully paid for it because that would be the remainder of the money that y'all kept from the check I wrote you to take care of his stuff. Like, that's just okay. Like, whatever way I'm thinking about it, this is my side of things. Again, that's just my thought process. As you know, in the first part 1, I talk about the money. There was money left over from this check that I wrote his mom. And there was. And I said something about it. And again, the money they put towards the remainder of the gravestone was the remainder of that. Now, I can imagine they surprised when they went to go see the gravestone. Because, yeah, it's beautiful.
Okay, so it was $3,000 left over from the money that she gave the parents, okay? Okay, now we know how much money we dealing with at least. Okay.
Beautiful though, it's beautiful. In that moment, I only felt an obligation to his children, which, yeah, when he died, he was a loving husband and father. He was absolutely, and I were married. I was his wife. Now, fast forward, gravestone's up, been kind of quiet. First year I go to the grave. There is tape, just like you see on the video that I posted originally, that's pinned. There was tape over my picture, Now, KT was pretty young. Now, mind you, KT, when he passed away, was 3. This has been 5 years. She's 8 now. The very first time I went to the gravesite, she was about 4. So I left her in the car first because it was emotional and I just had to, want to get myself together. And I'm glad I did because that, I got to remove that before she saw it at that time. I did not say anything. I talked to Fave cuz Pam and the Carolina Thorpes, which have always been a great family to KT and I. In the passing of Kev, things got really weird with his family, so there has been no contact with his family and KT. The last time I had any kind of contact was a post that I put up. I put a post up. One of his friends was and has always been, checking on her and that type of thing. And I posted it. And I was adamant to put, thankful for, folks still looking out for her. And this was like a year in. This wasn't even, but it's mainly because there was no conversation besides y'all telling me and sending me death threats. Cousin told me I probably killed my husband and making me out to be some type of gold digger, and which is absolute nonsense in somebody who is grieving the loss of their husband, the loss of their partner who they actually was living a life with. Let's backtrack for a minute because I think I was given this directive like, oh, it's his mom and she grieving and they grieving and he lost her son. And I gave that. I did that for 5 years. That's why I backed off. That's why I ain't say nothing about all the little things that was happening. That's why I ain't go in on detail about the shit. And that's why I did that. But you did not maintain that same level of respect. And why? Because I met someone else. I started dating the person I'm still with to this day, 8 months into after he passed. And that is a very short period of time. I get that. And everybody got their assumptions and that opinions about it. I get it. It is what it is. Until you have been someone who has been in my shoes, who have experienced what I've experienced and went through what I went through, then honestly you cannot speak on anything that I have done or chosen to do and who I've chosen to do it with. And that's...
How do y'all feel about that? I'm not here to judge, but she's saying she got into a relationship 8 months after her husband passed away, and they're still together till this day. So that's been like 4 years. You know what I'm talking about? So 4 years and some change that she's been with this new person. So I guess the mom feels some type of way. How do y'all think about because the husband just tragically passed away just in his sleep, just crazy, right? How do y'all feel about that? And she got into a relationship pretty fast. I'm pretty sure the mom and the sister do feel some type of way about that though, but I don't know what y'all think.
And that's just that. That's a fact. Now, I'm going to give this man all the credit because I was going through all of that with my family, his family, and dealing with the loss of the love of my life at the time. Like, that is always going to be somebody I will love to the day I die. And it is what it is. But in no way, shape, or form did I ever cheat, or anybody that's been around that, or be with this person or any person before that. I'm a very loyal person. Like, I don't play none of that, and Kevin never gave me any reason to even do any of that, or him, for that matter.
Okay, that was some good information. Hey, listen, how many of you guys think that she knew of this guy while she was dating her husband? Not saying that they had relations or would talk often or anything like that, but it just might have been somebody in her past that she knew of. How many of y'all think that that is the case?
Now, that probably rubbed them the wrong way. Again, we are distant now. You are not in my life. And I remember having a conversation with his mom. It's like, you're young, you're going to find somebody. And I was all against that shit. But then all the drama I was going through, this person, this amazing person that I'm married to right now, made my life and my children's life just a little bit easier during that time. And I don't have to justify that shit for nobody, but I will always give him all the praises. And if you don't understand it, I don't give a fuck.
Shout out to my boy.
So this is where we go back to you clocking my pussy and my money, because I'm not explaining to you what I'm doing, you know, whatever that. Then is this whole man that come in and I'm living my life. Like, do I grieve my late husband? Do I grieve Kev every day? And he has to deal with that. We have to deal with that. And that is something that we deal with. And I'm blessed to have somebody help me deal with that. But why are you mad at me? And at the end of the day, whatever connection and feelings you have about me, forget all that. How about contact his daughter? How about focus on what's going on with her? And I've been doing my damnedest to make sure that she's living her best life just like I'm living my best life. So it ain't none of that over here. What the fuck? March 1st, 2025 is 5 years. We go to the grave site. It had been probably a year since we had been here. So I don't have no idea when this new tape came up. That's where the tape picture comes up again. This time, KT is 8 years old at this point. She gets out the car. She's excited to have this moment with her dad. She likes to clean the gravestone. I didn't have time to get flowers this time, but we usually decorate it too. But yeah, she was excited. When we walk up and I see something and I just know to pull this out, because at this point I know that if it is what I think it is, this is it. This is it. And that's exactly what happened. You know, I know there's gonna be questions about this, certain things in the story, and that's cool. But at the same time, like, that's pretty much the facts of why they're mad, because a lot of people are just wondering why they're mad. Why are they at this point to do this? I guess you want to visit your son or your brother. And it comes to find out it's his sister. It was his sister the first time. She had made a post actually about it the first time she did it and posted it. And somebody had sent it to me. And again, I didn't say nothing. I gave the space. I gave the grace. And I'm good. I'm in a good place. I'm trying to heal and work on just living life and being, you know, a good person. But I don't know. It's sad to see that they still have not healed. And all this attention you're trying to get, I posted, now it's responses again. Now you can find any way to get in contact with me now. Now that I posted some shit, now you can find a way to get in contact with me. You got my number, why you ain't say nothing? Why do I have to call you about you doing some weird ass shit? You did it to get my attention for me to call you? For what? To talk about what? I don't bother y'all. I don't need to talk to y'all. There's nothing. Stop talking about me. Stop lying. To be honest, that's why I'm doing this now, because now I'm putting the truth out there. And if you need receipts, we can go there. But stop lying.
All right. Y'all gotta let me know what y'all think with this one. Y'all gotta help me out. Y'all gotta let me know. But I will say this, that's definitely why they mad. You feel me? They felt like shit. Then we got money involved too. But they did their part. I guess, the mom and them did their part. They might, but they might feel some type of way that but that was the husband decision. Shit, that was your son's decision. He decided to leave all his money to his wife. That was the husband's decision. She got the money. She wrote y'all a check to do some stuff. You feel me? It was a remaining balance. Y'all used to remain in balance. I mean, they probably feel some type of way about the money. But again, that is, your son decided to do this with his money, with his wife, okay? You feel me? And now they probably definitely feel some type of way about she getting remarried 8 months later, But rest in peace to her husband, her ex-husband. Well, what do you call that? Because the husband, rest in peace to her husband who passed away, her first husband. Shit, I wish her nothing but the best, and shout out to her new husband for coming in and making her life a little bit better. You feel me? Hey man, it is what it is, bro. Like, but y'all let me know what y'all think though. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me. I fuck with this story. Some of this stuff that you know, I ain't never been through. I can't, you know, so I ain't really. You feel me? But hey, what I have, if I had, and then what I want my girl to move on 8 months later. No, and I'd have left you some money too. Man, but I get it though. You know, like I don't know. Y'all let me know. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. It's your boy Ray, Big Play. Peace.